ticket for your aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, but I'm going home. Baby wrote me a letter. Don't care how much money I got to spend. Gotta get back to my baby again. The lonely days are gone, but I'm going home. Baby wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter. Said she could not live down in the mall. But listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more. And anyway, send me a ticket for your aeroplane. You got time to the fast train. Lonely days are gone, but I am going home. Baby wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter. Said she could not live down in the mall. But listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more. And anyway, send me a ticket for your aeroplane. Ain't got time to take your fastest train. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. Baby wrote me a letter. Yeah, lonely days are gone, but I'm going home. Baby wrote me a letter. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Let's try out my new Buck Trent thumb pick. Oh, yeah. Let me get up here a little closer to you. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome to Ronnie Reno Live. Welcome to the wide world of the internet. Welcome to Facebook. And nice to have y'all with us today. We're starting something new here, and this is our second show, and I've got some great guests today. I've got some beautiful women that I'm gonna get to talk to today, and they're some great artists, and really they got a lot of interesting things going on. And of course, with all these ups and downs that's happening right now with this little virus that's running around, I know everybody's sort of hunkered down and looking for entertainment and looking for something to keep you from being bored. And we hope we're it for sure today. So welcome to Ronnie Reno Live. Also, welcome to Sammy Passamano, who is basically running all the knobs. And thank you, Sammy, for doing all the good stuff and making us look good, sound good. And believe me, we could not do it without Sammy. He is wonderful at this stuff. And thanks again, Sammy. Appreciate you also. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a couple of women, gorgeous girls here today, and very talented. And my first guest today is we're going to bring her on and let her tell you a little bit about what she's been doing and how she's been staying busy during these times. But anyway, Miss Rebekah Long Speer. Hey, girl.
Hi. Hey.
Come in here, girl.
Here I am.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, glad to do it. My gosh, you're making me look good today. But hey, Rebekah, I know that most people knows exactly who you are on your Facebook and all this stuff. But for those who don't know exactly who you are, give us a little scenario of what you're doing and what you intend to do, and tell me a little bit about yourself, Rebekah.
Well, most folks know me from Lincolnton, Georgia, a little town down there, the home of the Lewis family and Jeff and Sherry Easter. And I moved up here to Nashville about, say 15 some years ago. And got with a fella named by the name of Ben Speer, and we did a whole bunch together. And he got me into the music business. And I mean, everybody knows I've been in the bluegrass business since, however long ago. But I've been doing that. I've been all over the place. I've done some playing for Valerie Smith and Liberty Pike, and I worked for Tom T and Dixie Hall there for a few years as their recording engineer and graphic designer. And from there, I picked up some songwriting skills and the Daughters of Bluegrass stuff, where I've been around a bit.
Oh, you're doing wonderful. I'll tell you, you touched on some things when you talk about the Ulisse family and, of course, the great Speer family. Talk about Ben Speer. You're talking royalty right there, girl.
I've been lucky in that regard.
Oh, you sure have. You sure have. What a great tradition and things that they have left and are leaving for everybody, for sure. And I'm sure you're probably touching on the gospel side a little bit too, aren't you?
Oh, definitely, with Jeff and Sherry, and the Gaither, all that Gaither crowd. I'm obviously very familiar with them. And Ben, I started out going to this school of music that he had at the time, and I just fell in love with the convention style of singing, and it's amazing how those bluegrass and Southern gospel, that convention style, both crossed paths. And the Ulisse family would play with the Speers, and the Speers, they did a lot of stuff together here and there. So,
well, I see you basically not only as bluegrass and gospel, but I see you as Americana too. I mean,
yeah. I tend to have a wild side, Ronnie.
But I did too. I really did. Once you, and I think everybody will agree with me, once you get bit by the bug of music, you want to soak it in like a sponge, and you gather from everywhere to try to create your own style, the way you feel, the way you want to present things. And that's what you're doing right now. You're not only are you taking from the gospel, from bluegrass, from Americana, from folk, and you're going to create what's good for Rebekah in your songwriting.
Yes.
And you're right too now, right?
Yeah, Tom. I think the best compliment that Tom T ever told me was that I was a lot like him in the regards that I only knew how to write. I only wrote about what I knew about. That can be good and bad.
Well, you're not old enough to know about everything you want to write about, for sure.
I feel like I've lived 3 lifetimes.
I tell you what, my dear friend Tom T. Hall, and of course his lovely wife Dixie. I don't know. You were down there the day I came down to play golf with Tom T. He invited me down to play golf, and I down at the farm, and of course I went. Come on down, and I think if I'm not mistaken, one of the presidents was from Morehead State University, was there that day. And so I called up Tom, and I said, Tom, somebody borrowed my golf clubs, and I don't know where they are. And he said, Ronnie, come on down. He said, we got some extra sticks down here. We'll loan you some.
Yeah, I love Tom T's sense of humor. Dry and clear.
He's great. And I'm sure you learned a lot about everything, not only running a studio and publishing company, but
yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, he is.
He is the best. Yeah, for sure. Well, now tell me what you're getting ready. All right, let me put it this way, because I know what you're getting ready to do a little bit. You're going to do more music and stuff like that. But what have you been doing leading up to what you're getting ready to do? Let me say it that way.
As far as music-wise or real life-wise?
Yeah. Music-wise. And plus the studio also. I know you're sitting in your
I am sitting in my studio. And, leading up to this point, I've released 2 projects. My first one was called Here I Am, and then my second one is called Runaway. Runaway. So basically, here I am, and now I'm running away. And they were both produced by my best friend and producer Donna Ulisse. Ulisse. No, you said it right the first time. I never get it right. Yeah, it's our thing. I never get it right either. Y'all don't feel bad. So, but she's getting ready to produce my third one. We haven't named it yet. In fact, we have Mr. Mark Rossi in here today. We've been writing a song for the new record this morning, and or 2 or 3, and we're getting ready to do that. And I also am working on a bluegrass gospel project on the side. It'll probably take me a little longer than the regular bluegrass one, because I have direction and a coach for the for the straight up bluegrass one.
Yeah, well, answer me this now. I know that you got a dear friend with you, and that's going to be my
Yeah.
second guest, but coming up. But how did you meet Miss Donna Ulisse?
I was working for Tom T and Dixie Hall, and at the time, Dixie and I'd finally talked her into doing the Daughters of Bluegrass, another project in that series of the Daughters of Bluegrass, Picking Like a Girl. It's a box set of about 70 songs. And originally when I asked her about it, I was thinking like, maybe 17, 18 songs. And it got turned into a whole bunch of songs. So we were sitting at the table there. And for those of you who know anything about Foxhall and being with Tom T and Dixie, there's a table there, and Dixie would sit at the end of it. And as graphic designer and engineer and all that stuff, I would sit to the right of her, and I was basically under her right elbow all the time. And so we were talking about this song. What was the first song you came in on? Was it
Let Me Fly Low?
Let Me Fly Low. We were talking about that song and who to get to sing on it. And at the time when I was with Valerie Smith and Liberty Pike, I remember when Donna came out, because she just immediately hit the charts, and we were on the bus headed somewhere, and we were all like, who is Donna Ulisse? And that always stayed with me. That was like a year prior. And so at that table, I had heard a YouTube video of Donna and Pam Gadd singing Making Believe. And I had showed it to Dixie, and I said, I think a great trio would be Donna, Pam Gadd, and Faye Starling. McLean, is it McLean Starling?
Pam Tillis.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Pam Tillis, Donna, and Faye Sue. And at the time, we did not know that Donna just loved Faye Sue. I had totally missed the part that Faye Sue had sang background vocals for Amy Lou, and that's how Donna had learned to sing harmony, was with singing with Amy Lou on those albums. And so when Donna came in, Dixie asked her, said, "Well, Donna, who do you hear you singing?" And with you, and the first thing out of Donna's mouth was Faye Sue. So that's how. And from there, instantly we were best buds. Donna and I, we just really clicked off. And
that's great. And y'all been doing projects and things together ever since.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. When did y'all won some awards with the Daughters of Bluegrass, didn't you?
I think
were nominated, or
the project before that, I think we got Recording Event of the Year, and then they changed the rules by the time we let the box set out.
They've been changing rules on me my entire career, so I'm used to that.
Yeah, they do it to all of us. So
yeah. How long have you been in your studio now and had this?
I have been here in Lebanon for a little over a year now, and the studio's been up and running for about 6 months? You say 6 months?
Maybe
3, maybe a little less. 6 months.
Right before COVID hit.
Right before COVID, we got it up and running, and had done two or three projects, and then COVID hit, and yeah.
So now you're just waiting on everything to clear up and raise the curtain so you can get back at doing what you love to do, and that's
it.
Oh, for sure. Well, you'll do well with it. You will, because you've got a good ear, and you've been at it for a long time, and of course you got a good partner in crime there too.
I do. I know how to pick them.
Hey, we've been sort of asking everybody to tell a little funny story. And of course, we'll get into some funny stories here in a minute, but with Miss Donna. But I know you got a good one on her. Tell us about that.
Oh, I got a good one, and most of the Facebookers actually saw the video as it went down. But I love to fish. As my Facebook fans know, I love to fish, and I used to keep my fishing boat out at Donna's under the pole barn there. That's not there no more, and I came in one day from fishing and was sitting under the patio with them, and we were all chatting and stuff. And their dog Burford, there was a squirrel out in the yard, and Burford went after it, and that squirrel shot up that tree. And just as that squirrel did, it hit a limb or something, jumped on whatever. At the time, we didn't know, and it fell. Something fell to the ground, and we realized it was a snake. And Burford and all the dogs were getting around it, and yeah, so Donna's like screaming at us the whole time, and Rick, mainly at Rick, because she always calls me when snakes are around. So to come get them, because she's terrified of snakes.
I can't wait till it's my turn.
That wasn't the end of it, though, was it?
No, that's not the end. So the snake's at the tree, and of course she's screaming and losing her mind, and the dogs are trying to get a hold of it. So I went over there and I grabbed the snake, and then she really starts losing her mind, and I finally turn around and just start walking towards her with the snake, and she really takes off with screaming. About 3 steps in, she's screaming, and her britches just fall down to the ground.
Well, your sister done the same thing to me down in Georgia. No, in Chattanooga. She found a snake out in the woods. We was playing with them, and she brought that thing over to me. And of course, I done the same thing that Donna did. Only I didn't lose my pants. I had on a belt. She done the same thing to me with that snake. She don't bother. Lizzie doesn't bother picking up a snake.
I took the one and only time that I played as an artist down there for the Lewis Family Festival, their festival down there. I found a snake along the way on the road and put it in a little jewelry bag. And I took that on stage. There's pictures of that. I took it on stage. And I said, and I told Lizzie, I said, during their set, and I said, I got a little something here for you in appreciation. And she reached in there. Of course, she immediately knew what it was when she reached her hand down in there and pulled it out. And I think 3 old ladies fainted in the crowd when that snake came out.
Well, I would have been with the 3 old ladies. I'll guarantee you for sure. But anyway, well, that's hilarious. Well, we've got to bring in your partner.
Oh yes, we'll get her set up here.
And I'm gonna do a few little shout outs before we bring her in. Make sure she's got her pants on, will you?
I'll make sure her pants are on.
Rebekah, thank you, sweetie, for
chatting.
Thank
you, Ronnie. Thank you, Sam.
Or this afternoon, I'm sorry. Yeah. And before we get done, we're going to get you and I'll get you back on here and let you sing one with Donna.
Sure, we can do that.
Here, but what a great treat to have you with us today, and you're just a wonderful talent. And
thank you.
Hear more stuff from you.
All right, great. Thank you, Ronnie.
All righty. Hey, I'm going to do a little shout out here to a bunch of my good friends out there. Of course, Sam Passamano, Senior, we want to say hi to Sam today. And Joe Sullivan, I'm going to say hi to Joe he's somewhere down in the Caribbean, somewhere down there laying on an island. Anyway, hey, Joe, let's see, Donna and Mike Stevens up in West Virginia. We want to say hi to them. And, of course, all the pickers that played with me for many, many years, Mike Scott, will say hi to Mikey, and Heath Van Winkle, and John Mayberry, and of course, Steve Day, Jackie Miller. Hi, guys. How you doing? Good to see y'all. And to everybody out there, if you want to ask us a question or something today while we're going live, by all means, let us hear from you. Let us know if you're enjoying some of this stuff, and we'll try to do more of it and everything like that. But until I want to bring on my dear friend, Miss Donna Ulisse. Hey, Donna, how are you doing?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good to see you again.
Yes.
Better than the last time.
That was I appreciate you doing that for sure. It was a spur of the moment thing. Of course, that's what you do when you go live. You just you take the good, you're on the spot right then and there. You're down.
Yeah, but I had just been hit by a tornado, literally.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Of course, we've had some rough weather here in Tennessee this year, and of course last year too. But for some reason, I'm on the north side of I'm in Hendersonville, and you're a little bit more east of me, and that's where it's all been going down Interstate 40 down through there.
I know, it's crazy.
It is crazy. It is. Yeah. But I mean, the real big one went right. Did you get any of that? What was this, a month or so ago? I guess the real big one came.
You mean the March the 10th one? We only had some debris in the yard, but this one that hit about 2.5 weeks ago, that did some real damage at our place. The pole barn where she used to park her boat, that's gone, and a bunch of trees and another barn of ours. So we lost quite a bit of stuff, but we're alive.
Well, now you got a farm out there, and you've got you raise a lot of your own food, and you got all kinds of little critters out there too, ain't you?
We've got critters, and I just want to say that she didn't start walking towards me with that snake. She was running after me, and I tripped, and my foot grabbed the bottom of my jogging pants, and that's what happened. It wasn't quite the way that she said it.
Oh, I got you. They just didn't fall to your knees. You actually
they hit the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Scared the snake away, though.
Oh, that is funny. Now. That is fun. Well, now since I got you on, we've been talking about some funny stuff and things, and the weather and this, that, and the other. But I want to hear more about what you have been doing, Donna, and what's getting ready to happen more in your career, and some of the projects you've been doing. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, let's see. About almost 2 years ago now, I signed with Billy Blue Records, and my dear friend Jerry Sally happens to run Billy Blue, and so it's been a real joy to work with one of my best friends there. And again, for the second album in a row, I got to work with the great Donna Ulisse, and I still can't believe it. I pinch myself all the time, especially when he calls. If he calls and his name pops up on my caller ID, my pants fall off. No. But he just always makes me happy. And anyway, I call him the Chief, and he is just such a joy to work with. He's done so much for my music. But I have so many good friends around me. Larry Stevenson and I have been writing songs. So recently I got to sing with him actually a couple of days ago. And so I can't wait for you guys to hear some of that kind of stuff too. So I'm staying busy.
So y'all did a duet together, or you just sang on each other's projects?
We wrote a duet. We wrote a duet, and it's a dandy. And he came over here, and I know this is going to sound like, she just loves Larry Stevenson. But the truth is, he went in there on one take and broke my heart. He has such a pure, honest tenor voice, and it's so fun to hear him sing. It is.
Oh, definitely. So Larry he's one of my favorite singers too. Of course,
yeah.
I see a lot of Bobby Osborne in Larry, and
yeah.
Everybody does, but Bobby was always my true hero when it came to that beautiful round high voice. And of course, I always believe that our type of music, whether it's bluegrass or traditional or Americana or gospel, the keys that we sing in is perfect for women. The B and the C is just wonderful for you girls. I mean,
I agree.
It showcase your voices and they don't get any prettier than up in that area.
Aww.
To get that high, but I did for a while. I sang tenor with Merle for quite a while. Yeah. Sonny and them guys, but then as the years went by, it seemed like I couldn't get there as easy as I used 2 years ago. But for women and singers like you and Rebekah, and of course all the great girl singers in our industry, hats off to you. Y'all do a great job. Yeah, in fact, I just heard your I think it's your latest single on Sirius the other day. The one about the bluegrass, where you just called me.
Oh, when I call bluegrass on you?
Yeah. Yeah. You wrote that, didn't you? Did you write it?
I wrote that with Rick.
Well, yeah. Well, tell me about that. What brought that on? What brought that song on?
Well, actually, I'm going to name drop again. It was because Jerry Sally was late for a writing appointment. We had an appointment set up for like 10 o'clock, as usual. That's about par. And he calls me about 10:15. And I know when he calls me buddy.
Gonna be late.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I'm running a little bit late. And he said, but I'll be there about 10:15. And we were just riding out in what I call the little house on our little farm. And so I said, that's all right. I'm here. So, 10:15 comes and he calls. He said, hey, buddy, I'm going to be a little later than I thought. And I said, okay, well, I'm just out here in the little house. You just get here when you can. Then he called about 11:15 and he said, look, I had to answer a bunch of emails. He's a record exec now. So he does have a lot on his plate. And he said, I'm not going to get there before, I don't know, 11:15. And I just hung up after I talked to him, and I just thought, when he gets here this time, I think I'm going to go all bluegrass on him. I am Italian. And and I was like, wow, that's a good title for a song. So I sat out there and wrote the first verse and chorus by myself. And Rick was in the big house, which is not a big house. It's really just a little bit bigger than the little house. But I went in there and I said, honey, listen to this and tell me you think I'm on to something. And he said, yeah. He said, I love that song. I said, well, maybe I should wait till Jerry gets here. And he grabs my guitar and he said, no, you're not. And he came up with a lot of the second verse. And so we just wrote it on the fly. And when Jerry walked in the door, he says, that's something you're writing for your new album? I said, it sure is. It's one I almost got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, just finished it. Oh, I love it. Jerry has been a friend of mine for many years, and
he's a good one.
Oh, he, Jerry, and Carl Jackson, and Larry Cordell, and Jim Rushing came on my show back in the early '90s, many years
Wow.
ago, and they did a medley. I don't know if you ever heard them do it or not, but it was a medley of all four of them's hits, and they just never stopped. I'll have to play it. I'll get Sammy to put it on my Facebook.
Wow.
The greatest performances. It was like
Oh.
7 or 8 minutes long, but they sat around in a circle, just like songwriters would do. And Carl had arranged it, and they went from one to the other and sang all these wonderful, gorgeous hits that they had. So I'm going to put that on my Facebook. I've got to put it for everybody.
That'd be a dandy.
Oh, you'll love it. Wait till you see
Yeah.
it. And I know Jerry's probably done forgot he even done it, but singing tenor. Now there's you another high voice. He can get up there.
Yeah. Well, Jerry was on, I think I'm on album number 11 now. And for the first 3 or 4 albums, Jerry did all the harmony singing. He was the high tenor voice and Rick was the other voice on my first album. So I'm very familiar with his harmony. He's a good one.
Well, he's now you got a new project coming out on Billy Blue Records. Is that correct?
I have one out now. It's fairly new. Lucky me, but it was released like a month before all this COVID stuff. So I have a new album out right now, and it's called Time for Love. When I Go All Bluegrass is on it. The newest single I want to say is When We've Got Time for Love. It's a good song. Again, Rick and I wrote it together, but I am working on my next.
Oh, that's great.
Always
well,
towards it.
This COVID-19 virus that came out has really stopped our industry in our tracks, and I know you're feeling it. All my dear friends are feeling it. I retired from touring last year, so fortunately for me, I don't have to tour, but I do have a lot of friends that are out there, and they were getting ready to kick off their summer and stay very, very busy. But so we've all turned around, and I asked Larry the same thing our last show, is where do you see the changes going, and what do you think the new changes are going to be? Is the fans going to dictate it, or are we going to try different things and let them choose?
I am stumped because I feel the panic that the promoters must be feeling, because it's going to be a gamble, those first festivals that open back up. And the first time we go back on the road, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. Are people going to feel comfortable enough to come to the festivals? I think there are a lot of people that are ready because, we're missing music.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that too.
Is this the summer without?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a little bit of a gamble on everyone's part. I think that the brave bands that test the waters and go out there on these festivals where the brave promoters are going to go ahead and go for it, I think that it is just it's a wait and see. That's all that I can say. It's just going to be a wait and see.
Well, years ago, everybody tried everything. You tried concerts where the band went to the venues and the people came there, and then then you went to Branson, you went to the Grand Ole Opry, you went to Rempro Valley, Kentucky, where the people came to them, and they did that for several years, and so now we're back around. I do believe, I don't know if what we're doing today will not be in the future of all of entertainment, not only bluegrass,
right?
But that bring our entertainment and our talents through this way, and that you're safe. But it's still, I think, it's still out there about what we're going to do. But and then maybe who knows? Maybe the festivals may just be a 3-month. You tour for 3 months, and then you go back into do something else for 3 or 4 months, and then you do something else, go to the indoors for 3 months. But it's going to be interesting, and as long as fans want us to do it, well, then I'm sure people like you and your groups and everybody will do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it will have a bit of a different look, what music looks like as we present it, but it's not going to die. We need music, so it's gonna thrive. It might have a different look, but it's gonna thrive. We're making hay while the sun is shining. While this downtime has been happening, Rick and I have been writing a ton. The good news is that Rebekah lives right across the street from me, and she has a lovely studio. So we've been coming over here and just putting acoustic demos down, and it's been fun. I've been,
Sure.
you never quit learning. So I've been finding some new tricks, just because we have the time to play in the studio and work these things up. These are still exciting times,
Oh, very much so, very much so. And I think that people are wanting to see some new ways of doing it.
Right.
Some other things that gets your adrenaline going and gets the excitement up and pulls on your emotions. I mean, it will never die.
Right.
Universal language. Everybody understands it for sure. But anyway, well, I'm gonna be looking and seeing what you're doing. And hey, I tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you and Miss Rebekah sing us a song today, and we're gonna sort of sign off. But I wanted to thank you so very, very much for
Thank you
coming on and doing this with me, and thank all of your fans for tuning in, and of course Rebekah's too. So I appreciate you so much, Miss Donna, and thank you, girl. And won't you get Miss Rebekah in there and you gals do
I
me
will.
a song?
And I do want to tell you real quick, because I had this planned and plotted. The song that we're selecting is an old song that I know you know this gentleman, Ray Edenton. He is just a wonderful guitar player. And I love Ray so much. He's the reason I'm in Nashville. He was a good friend of my mom's family growing up. And this is the only song Ray Edenton ever had a hand in writing. And I just love it. I wish you could sing with us, Ronnie. I really do.
Oh, I do too. And of course, I knew Ray very, very well. He was one of the great session players in Nashville, and he recorded all the old Osborne Brothers things that we did. I know Ray very, very well. Knew him very, very, very well. And what a great song this is. And so, well, thank you so much, Donna and Rebekah. Appreciate you girls. And I'm going to let us end our day today with this great song. Actually, the Louvin Brothers recorded it many years ago.
Yeah.
Here's Donna and Rebekah with your Running Wild.
Okay. We're testing the waters here because we've really never done it.
That's right.
You're running wild. How long can this go on? You're leaving me alone and running wild. You're always gone. My love you'll never share. It's more than I can bear. You're running wild. You'll settle down someday and find I've gone away. You think of what you've done while running wild. I can't go on. You have to choose the way. You have to go or stay. Stop running wild. You're running wild. We made it. Where'd everybody go?